still see people on the sidelines. Come on over. Thank you, thank you. We're going to get started in just a few moments. Thank you all. Who's got another chant for me?
El pueblo
Unidos
jamás será vencido.
El pueblo
Unido
jamás será vencido. El pueblo
unido jamás será vencido.
El pueblo.
Unido jamás será vencido.
Give me another one, be serio. Give me another chant.
Aquí estamos y no nos vamos.
Aquí estamos.
Y no nos vamos.
Aquí
Estamos y no nos vamos.
Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. ¡Woo! Who's got another one?
Nosotros aportamos.
Start me out. Vicky. Louder.
Nosotros aportamos.
Nosotros aportamos
Aportamos nuestro estado.
los estados.
Nuestro estado.
Nuestro estado. Okay, I'm going to give you the mic.
Nosotros soportamos a nuestro estado.
Nosotros aportamos a nuestro estado.
Ey, nosotros aportamos
A nuestro estado. Nosotros apoyamos a nuestro estado.
nosotros
Apoyamos a nuestro estado.
nosotros
Apoyamos a nuestro estado.
Okay, let's do one more. Who's got a chant? You can make one up on the spot.
Familias unidas jamás serán vencidas.
Familias unidas.
Jamás serán vencidas.
Familias unidas.
Jamás serán vencidas.
Familias unidas.
Jamás serán vencidas.
Familias.
Unidas. Jamás serán vencidas.
It's getting hot in here. All right, I think we're gonna get started here. Thank you all for attending this event and for all of the actions that you'll continue to take after today as we stand up for immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers, and ensure that we are making progress and not going backwards.
All right, everyone. Get in close. Get in close.
Buenos dias. Good morning to you all. Buenos dias. I am Miguel Maestas, Associate Director of El Centro de la Raza, which we translate as the Center for People of All Races. And we are honored to have you here at the Centilla Cultural Center. This center Centilla is a name in the Nahuatl Aztec language that means to join together, to become one. And on behalf of our Executive Director, Estela Ortega, who sends her love and her apologies for not being able to be here today, and everyone here at El Centro, our entire El Centro family, we warmly welcome you all here today. Mil gracias to One America for bringing us together. We are more powerful together.
Yeah.
As you know, El Centro de la Raza was founded over 52 years ago through a peaceful occupation of the school building right across the plaza. A peaceful occupation of that abandoned school building where our founders said, we are going to create a place to have so our community can have a voice, so that we will not be invisible, so that we can build our community, build political power, and struggle to create a place for unity in our community. That struggle over 52 years has continued thanks to so many people here at El Centro de la Raza who have contributed so much over so many years. Today we have 43 programs and services to serve our community. We will continue to serve and defend our immigrant and refugee communities to our utmost ability, continuing to help in providing services, to providing emergency planning, to uniting with our partners so that we are coming together to educate and organize our communities. This building, Plaza Roberto Maestas, is a beautiful example of bringing together elements like affordable housing, economic opportunity, childcare, community and cultural space, and it is a way in which we have continued to build community, to say that all people, including our immigrant and refugee communities who contribute so much to our economy, who were there, who were the essential workers during COVID, who kept us fed, who kept working in the hospitals and working in those essential jobs, have the right to dignity and a right to be part of our society. In closing, I want to thank you, Governor Ferguson, Attorney General Brown, our other leaders and elected officials that are here, and One America for your leadership. We stand together with our friends and allies, committed to organizing and building our collective strength to keep families together, to inform and educate and defend our beloved communities. Thank you so much. Mil gracias.
Thank you so much, Miguel, for welcoming us to this space at such an important moment. El Centro de la Raza has always been about the power our community has to stand up and fight back. And here we are again, facing a federal administration that is attacking our communities. So we will use every tool at our disposal to defend and protect. That's right. That's right. My name is Roxana Neruzzi, and I am the very proud Executive Director of One America. I am a first-generation American, a very proud daughter of immigrants from Iran who lost their home over 40 years ago due to political unrest. And 20 years ago, I found my home and voice in the immigrant rights movement. And like El Centro, One America was born out of resistance. Our organization was founded following the 9/11 attacks in 2001. Then called Hate-Free Zone, our communities were fighting back against a rise in Islamophobia and targeted attacks that left immigrant and refugee communities feeling vulnerable and afraid. And that's not right.
No, never.
We should all feel safe in the communities we call home.
Yes.
And that is why immigrants and refugees from this community, together, all of you, established One America, so we could have a place to organize together and create a future where we all thrive.
Yes. Yes.
Because what do we do when immigrants are under attack?
Stand up, fight back.
That's right. What do we do when immigrants are under attack?
Stand up, fight back.
Now, almost 24 years later, our communities are still under attack in some of the most vicious and cruel ways we've seen to date. Over the last week, the Trump administration has enacted destructive executive orders that aim to strip our rights and harm all Americans. Trump's plans for mass deportation, mandatory and indefinite detentions, and the dismantling of our immigration system is not just a moral and humanitarian disaster, it's also an economic catastrophe that will spare no one.
That's right.
They will separate families, endanger our public safety, hurt local communities across the country, and damage industries like agriculture, dairy, construction, home care, nursing, and many, many more. While Trump and his billionaire allies line their pockets, American families are drowning in impossible choices: rent or groceries, medicine or utilities. And now, for some families, it's about making a terrifying calculus every day. Is going to work worth risk of detention? Is a church, hospital, or school visit worth being separated from their children? The real threat to our country is a system that forces hardworking families to choose between survival and safety. But here's the thing, we've been here before and we are ready. This time, we will not only organize and stand up, but we will also fight for what we need to make Washington the best state in the country for all of us. Yes. And that's no matter where we come from, the color of our skin, or our immigration status. Despite the agenda of our anti-immigrant federal government, together we are ready to fight for what will keep immigrant communities safe here in Washington.
Yes,
We will build a blueprint for the rest of the nation of what's possible when we value, support, and invest in immigrant communities.
That's right.
Policies like including immigrants of every status in our social safety nets. Ensuring our democracy is fair and representative.
That's right.
Taking the burden off of our tax system so poor and working class families can afford things like childcare. And most importantly, using every tool at our disposal at the local and state level to ensure immigrant communities are protected. One America, along with so many of our partners here in this room and out in the world doing hard work, we're built for moments like this. And we are more prepared than ever to defend our people, and we won't back down. We know what we are up against, and we have a vision of what we are working towards. A vision of a thriving home for immigrants where we are equal, valued, and loved. So, no hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
No hate, no fear.
Immigrants are welcome here. That's right, and that's what we're here to say together with our community and our incredible leaders in Washington State who will stand with us. So now I have the honor of introducing Governor Bob Ferguson, a fierce defender of immigrants throughout his career. Just last week, the Trump administration announced that they would allow ICE to enter churches, hospitals, courts, and schools and child care centers, like the one we're standing across from at El Centro. I was very proud to be a part of the Project 2025 task force led by King County Councilmember Jorge Barón. We provided recommendations to help our state prepare for this moment. The governor, along with new Department of Children and Family, the new Department of Children, Youth and Families Director, Tana Sen, are here to stand with us and to announce one of the recommendations that will be put into effect to address the impact of family separation. Please welcome the governor.
Thank you so much, Roxana, and thanks. You mentioned you and my apologies. You and Councilmember Barón. Sorry about that. Where's Jorge? I know he's got to be close by. So thanks you both. So just so folks know, that was during my transition time after getting elected, but before taking office, we built a transition team, and those two individuals co-chaired a committee looking at Project 2025 and how Washington State can be prepared for what might be coming. So the two of them led a team and made recommendations. We'll be talking more about that in a moment. And Tana has a key role, as you might imagine, in state government, so we so appreciate her service. So I'll have a few remarks. Tana will have a few remarks. Then I'll be signing an executive order. Before I do that, though, I also want to thank El Centro for hosting us once again. I'm mindful as I was driving here that we've had some wonderful events here. We were here to stand up for Dreamers during the last Trump administration. Many of you were here. And we won that fight, right? We won that fight. We are here to stand for farm workers in this very room. Just a couple of years ago, many of you are here for that. We won that fight for the rights of farm workers and many others. So it's great to be back, and thank you again for all your work. First, I want to say, I was proud that, when Donald Trump was first elected, the first state to stand up to him and defeat him in court was Washington State on the first vote ballot. And I was proud to lead a team in the AG's office that brought that case and won that case. I was equally proud that the first state to stand up to Donald Trump and take him to court and beat him in court was once again Washington under the leadership of our new Attorney General, Mitch Franklin. That issue, of course, is on birthright citizenship, and the team in the AG's office does fantastic work. I just mentioned those two cases because, sort of above all else, what I want to communicate to the people of the state of Washington, who I know are feeling a lot of things right now, is we have a state of leaders at the local and state level who are very, very committed to defending your rights, upholding the values of all Washingtonians. We've been first in the past. We're first again. We'll stand up for your rights. We'll protect your freedoms. So that's central to who we are, and we'll continue doing that. We're also mindful that with the AG's office, we're able, when the president oversteps his authority, you can be sure Washington State will stand up and take him to court and win almost every single time. We're also mindful that presidents have a lot of authority. They do. And they can do things that are lawful that we strongly oppose and that go against our values. We also need to prepare for those events as well, to minimize the impacts to Washingtonians when a president does something that may be lawful but goes against our values. And one thing I want to talk about is the potential for mass deportations, which of course has been central to Donald Trump's campaign and of course what he's been saying since he became president. He was clear about his intentions, so I want to be clear about the impacts if that were to happen. It means ripping families apart. It means kids losing their parents. It means business losing their workers. It means communities being significantly altered. We need to be prepared if this were to come to pass. So today I'll be signing an executive order after Tana says a few words, directing the immediate creation of the Family Separation Rapid Response Team in the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, which Tana Sen heads up. And I appreciate the work of the co-chairs of that committee in the transition, making recommendations like this to me so we can move quickly and be prepared as a state. The goal of this team is to address the harms caused by President Trump's immigration enforcement policies. Look, we have other speakers who will address this, but the harms are obvious. And the word harms is really not even the right word, right? It goes beyond that, right? But the harms caused by those will be profound for many, many families potentially, and we need to be prepared. So we're going to uphold our core values as Washingtonians, and my administration will do everything we can possibly do to address those significant harms that are caused by those policies. That's making sure that kids who are torn away and separated from their parents have someone to care for them, and they have uninterrupted access to their education. The team I'm creating today will include professionals from DCYF, from the Washington State Patrol, the Office of Refugee and Immigrant Assistance, the AG's Attorney General's Office, and representatives, of course, from my office as well. The members will be consulting with regional and local experts on immigration and child welfare to develop policies that support children who experience family separation through the deportation or detention of their parents or their caregivers. They will be having their first meeting no later than February 14th, and I expect much sooner than that. Broadly speaking, the team will look for ways we can improve agency policies and procedures to help us respond to and support families who are separated. Look, it's worth noting, a dozen years ago, it would have been unimaginable we'd be having this conversation. Let's be clear, right? So even a state like Washington isn't necessarily prepared for something like this, because who would imagine we'd be at this place? So it's important for us to go through our procedures and think about it from a lens of what actually is happening now to make sure we are doing everything we can to be ready for what might be happening. We'll also be connecting with the Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction and local school districts to develop strategies to minimize disruption to kids' education. That includes making a plan to respond if a student's parent is taken while a student is in school. I will be directly involved in this, so I can assure you I have a great team. They'll be advising me on a regular basis. My first meeting this morning, after I got up, was about these issues, so they'll be in regular contact with me as we move forward. I'm going to turn this over to Tana Sen, who will say a few words, and then I'll be signing this executive order. Thank you very much.
Good morning. It's a huge honor to be standing here, and I'm so grateful to thank Governor Ferguson for making this one of his first actions to make sure that we're protecting families across Washington state. The entire mission of the Department of Children, Youth, and Families are to keep children safe, to reduce unnecessary separation from family, and ultimately reduce any trauma. And we are standing ready and waiting to work together with agencies across Washington state to make sure that children in mixed status families are protected, are supported when their parents or primary caregiver are deported or removed from our country. And I just want families to know and to feel rest assured that if that happens, your child will be safe, will be cared for, and will be loved here in Washington state. And I want our youth to know that as well. This is important. We care for you. We want to reduce any trauma, and we will take care of you, because that is what Washington state does. That is what the Department of Children, Youth, and Families does. And that is what we are telling all of you today, that Washington is standing strong together on the local level, the county level, and the state level to protect families and children in Washington state.
Let me get this out of your way.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Look forward to working with you.